What's good, XRP, XLM, XDC, and Algo fam? It's Big Hoss, and I'm back for another educational video on how we can maintain our wealth like the wealthy do. Once we all go to the moon and blow up. Little disclaimer, take this information with a grain of salt, because if you get wrecked, take responsibility for your own actions. You're a grown man, I'm a grown man. I'm gonna get wrecked if you get wrecked, so we're all in it together. Don't bitch, don't whine. Only invest money that you can afford to lose. Personally, I'm all in. Why not? The bankers are they're gonna eventually adopt it, and we're gonna moon. We're in it early. So today, I'm gonna discuss what all the wealthy families do to maintain generational wealth from decade to decade, essentially to infinity and beyond, since the dawn of time. So we might as well join their tactics and schemes to legally abide, because that's what they do. They're not cheat. They're not breaking the law. They know the rules, and that's what my line of work is. I know the rules, and I'm here to help you. So today, the strategy is simple. It's called the buy, borrow, and die strategy. So buy. Let's get our favorite coins: XRP, XLM, XDC, Algo, VeChain, whatever floats your boat. These are just some of mine, and we're just going to use easy numbers. So let's say we invested $50,000 into XRP, and we have 100,000 XRP coins. And eventually, I believe in the next 10 to 15 years, the market won't be so volatile, and we'll have like kind of a stability where it's kind of easy to put up an X amount of collateral to get a nice loan. Like what I'm doing right now is I use Celsius, for example, with smaller figures, but I can take out a 1% loan, essentially giving them 25% of whatever asset that I choose, and use that loan to reinvest. And what I'm doing is putting it back into the crypto market because I'm so bullish. So let's pretend it's 2025 and each XRP coin is worth $250 a coin. So we have a 25 million market value on those 100,000 XRPs. And what you can do is you can take out a loan on Celsius, Nexo, BlockFi, whatever the future competitors are. Maybe the banks are in it now and they're giving out cheap loans, and you put it up as an asset, just like you can do with a house or whatnot. You have a house that's paid off, you can remortgage and finance it and use that money to reinvest, and maybe that's what I'm doing right now with XRP. But to avoid, like say you needed a cash, and instead of FOMOing out and using that money and getting bullied and mugged by the government and taking your money and essentially just taking it from you and using it for whatever they feel fit, you don't have to sell. That's what the rich do. Jeff Bezos and all those key people, they don't sell their assets. They don't sell their stocks because it appreciates. So in this example, do we think XRP is going to year over year appreciate more than 1%? I mean, it'd have to, right? Especially with the government printing and printing and printing. So let's use Celsius for an example. In 2025, that value would be 25 million. So 25% of to 25 million would be 6.25 mil. So let's use Celsius. Say, here's my 6.25 million. I want $1 million loan at 1%. Well, instead of stunning and going out and buying that Lambo and everything else, which hey, you can do it if you want to. You spend some of it, invest, in a house, or you can get a Lambo, and then use the rest of the money for the next few years to pay off that loan instead of blowing all of it. And then you keep all those assets. You still have $100,000 or 100,000 XRPs, and you didn't have to blow any of them. You just keep them. And I spoke in past, if you look at my previous video I just made yesterday about setting up a CRT, which is a charitable remainder trust, where you can kind of never have to pay capital gains tax, and you can create a legacy by donating to a charity and getting an annuity for 20 years and maintaining your wealth that way. So, I wouldn't sell. This is my personal opinion. I'm not selling. I'm just holding out till at least gets $250 a coin. And then I'll probably do this because I don't want mugged off. And if you look right now, the government is they're trying to make capital gains taxes even higher, and probably alter this whole game that they have going on with being able to not to have to pay taxes on gains of your assets like stocks and real estate and all that other type of stuff until you actually sell. So if you don't want mugged off, then this is what you need to do. Again, not financial advice. So I'm going to show you some states that most likely you don't want to live in due to the fact that they have personal income tax off the roof, and they have everything else off the roof here. So inheritance tax. So there's 17 states that have an inheritance tax. So I prefer not to live in any of these once we all go to the moon, like Pennsylvania, New York, Maine, Vermont. I don't know who wants to live in any of the states really anyways. Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Illinois, Kentucky, Oregon, Washington. You don't want to live in those states because once you pass away, your kids are going to get mugged, your grandchildren or whomever. Live in a state like Nevada, which has good weather, Florida. They don't have, first of all, they don't have personal income tax, so you're not getting mugged. And then you don't get mugged when you pass away. So you think about living in those states if you're going to stay in America. And also Texas. Texas is a good state too. They don't have personal income tax. And that's the states that once we go to the moon and those 100,000 XRPs are worth, and you're balling and you're a boss, don't live in those states. You're going to get mugged. So I hope this information, this little quick tutorial, sits home. If you have any questions, like look at California, 13.3% personal income tax. Yet they're broke. They can't afford anything. And, they just can't afford anything. They can't pass a budget, but yet they're mugging everyone for 13.3% personal income tax. My goal on this channel is to mitigate taxes and help us small peons grow and protect what is rightfully ours. My mission is not to allow any of these scumbag individuals or entities to take what's rightfully ours, our crypto, our net worth. So these strategies, or something to think about before you go and sell. Look at my previous video. I talked about charitable remainder trust, and you set that up before you're thinking about selling, and you donate. Your charitable remainder trust will donate that asset, say $1 million worth of XRP, to whatever charity you choose, and then you could take out an annuity for 20 years and get about 5 to 8%, $50K to $80K every single year. In the first 5 years, you can just deduct it and not have to pay any personal income tax on it. And then after that, and you could do that money with whatever you want. You could reinvest it back in the crypto market. You can do whatever. Just think of it as a paycheck every year. Like I'm getting 50K, 60K, 60K or whatnot, and just use it as an paycheck. So, feel free to hit me up anytime you guys want. I'm only in this to help you grow and help myself grow and educate and bounce ideas off one another. And if this video only reaches one person in the next 10 years, but it changes and alters their trajectory and their wealth for them and their families, then I did my job, because that's all I'm in it for. This information's not out there broadcasting. I mean, yeah, you can probably search and find better quality videos than I put out. But my goal is to specifically hit our market, which is the crypto lunatics that are in it before everybody else adopts it. And I don't want anyone here to get mugged, because we're just peons to them, and they don't give a shit about us. The government doesn't care about us. They want to tax us at 30% when we're putting our money up in a market that goes up and down like a roller coaster does. So just keep sitting strong, hodl strong, and one day we're all going to be chilling, big chilling. And at that point, you do what you got to do with your money. I'm personally just going to live kind of the same lifestyle and just hopefully one day be a legend, because I'm going to give my family so much money that they're not even going to know what to do with themselves. So it's been nice talking to you guys, and this is my first live stream ever. So it's probably not good, and I'm a competitive person, so I'm going to try to improve as I go along. And, Big Hoss is out. Take care, everyone.